Hi there, Sean Cummings here. I'm the owner of Home Service Profits. That's homeserviceprofits.ca. You can contact me, homeserviceprofits@gmail.com. Doing this webinar this week. Hi to everybody who signed up for it. Thanks for taking a bit of time out of your day to learn how to make your company become a success story, a greater success story than it already is. This one's about one of the hardest things that contractors have to deal with, and that's about getting that phone to ring, because there are times during the year when the phone doesn't ring for whatever reason. And often contractors will throw money at a problem, and you don't necessarily have to do that, throw money at things that may or may not work to get the phone to ring. You have to remember that the phone ringing is a direct result of your company's marketing efforts. That's the long and the short of it. So you have to look at how you're reaching your customers, what your message is, and certainly what separates you from everybody else that's out there. That's just a reality of how things are in this day and age. You have to be that much more creative when you're trying to get people's attention. And by the way, people's attention spans have dropped. You really have to give them something good, very quick, that they can process for them to decide to call your company. So we're going to talk about that with this webinar this morning called Get That Phone Ringing. Okay, so here we go. In order to understand why the phones aren't ringing, you got to ask yourself, first off, has this happened before? You have to ask yourself, has it happened before? When did it happen? Like, is it a seasonal thing? Or is it a time when, weather has an effect on it? There's all kinds of different factors. You need to analyze that and find out how often those periods of times are happening, right? Because it goes to the next point, how long did that period of time last for where the phones weren't ringing, right? And then when the phones started ringing again, like, when did they, and what caused it? What was the catalyst? What changed? Okay, something changed to make that happen, right? So you have to think about the historical context of not having the phones ringing at your business. And when the phones aren't ringing, I know it sucks. I've been there. It's a horrible thing, right? You have to send people home. They're not getting paid today, and they got families to take care of and bills to pay and mortgages and so forth, right? You don't want to send them home. You have to, and if you start sending people home enough times, they're going to start looking somewhere else for a job. That's just the way it works, because they won't feel that there's enough work for them at your company and that their job is safe in any way. Business owners, they'll always just throw money at the problem because it's a reactive process, right? It shouldn't be a reactive process when you're dealing with getting your phone to ring, but often it is, right? And then business owners always start looking for the magic beans that will get the phone to ring, and that may be one of the reasons why you're watching the video today, because you're looking for some magic beans that are going to get that phone ringing like immediately, like 2 hours after here. You can say, we're going to do this, and the phones are going to ring. Well, unfortunately, the magic bean that most people do is they look for a big, amazing advertising piece. I've seen it happen. We got to get some awesome advertising piece that's going to get people to call us. Well, yeah, advertising is a part of this, but you can't just throw money at an emergency advertising fund to get the phones ringing. This is a process that you have to think about. All right? The fact of the matter is, there's no magic beans. There are no magic beans, magic wands, fairy dust, silver bullets, you name it, four-leaf clovers, whatever totem you want to talk about, there aren't any. There's no magic beans to get the phone to ring, but there are things that you can do, and you have to think about how to implement them, okay? So the best way to deal with times when the phones aren't ringing is to make sure there aren't any times when the phones aren't ringing. Think about that for a second, right? Because right now you're not doing that. You're not thinking about how to prevent it from happening in the first place. You're knee deep in the fact that you need calls like you need air to breathe. I get that, okay? But you're going to get through this. And while you get through this, you need to start to build a plan to deal with this so this doesn't happen anymore, or it's mitigated in a big way, all right? So that's very important. Now, before we go any further, why do people call your company? Right, Houston, we have a problem. People call you because they have a problem, and your company, whether it's plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical, you name it, Your company, or roofing, your company is in the problem-solving business. That's why they called you, right? So you have to think, though, that there's two kinds of needs that consumers have, right? The first one is called an active need. I got no hot water. I got no heat. I got no air conditioning. I got, like electrical problems. I plugged something in the thing and it popped, right? I've seen this, some shingles blew off my house. Okay, those are active needs that you need to take care of as quickly as possible. That's the homeowner, right? The other one are called passive needs, things that the homeowner isn't even aware of that are problems lingering and lurking in their home. Okay, and those are things like scheduled service, right? Recommended repairs that your technicians gave, but they rejected them. Problems that the client isn't aware of. Those are the two kinds of needs, right? And so to get the phone to ring, we're often focused on active needs. When the phones aren't ringing, it's because home services contractors have built their business to respond specifically to active needs. And if active needs make up 50% of your business and passive needs make up 50% of the business, you can't build your business focusing on only one half of the growth model, okay? You have to focus on bringing in those passive needs. You cannot count on active needs. They're often seasonal. I've seen this happen. You know, we would pray for a hot summer. We would literally pray for the coldest of the coldest winters because during those periods of active use, that's when things broke down. That's what caused calls to happen and replacement opportunities, right? Or windy days or hailstorms, you know, shingles blowing off the house, you know, or pulling the electrical service off the side of the house, that kind of stuff, right? You'd pray for that kind of thing. Now, it doesn't work that way. Repeat after me. You cannot count on active needs to keep your doors open. You can't. You absolutely can't do it. Okay? See, there's always peaks and valleys in business, right? You've got peaks and valleys. There's times when it's like really busy and then it slows down and then there's nothing. And then it comes up and it's really busy and it's sort of this cycle. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down, right? Right now, if you're watching this, you're right down the lowest pit of the valley because your phones aren't ringing. But you need to stay out of the valleys, you know. You want to have, you know, little smaller peaks and valleys up near the top, right? And there's a way that you can do that. You just have to have systems and processes and procedures built into your business. So let's talk about those. How do you do it? Well, the first one is self-service plans or club memberships. Yeah, absolutely. Now, it's not going to get your phones ringing tomorrow morning, but we're thinking about the big picture here. All right? Club memberships are all about scheduled service, right? And people do scheduled service on their cars and trucks all the time. I get my oil changed on my car every 3 months, right? But people don't do it in their homes, and you know that they don't because they don't even think about it. They just automatically assume that water heater is going to last forever. You know, they're automatically going to assume that because there's breakers in the panel that it's done properly and it doesn't need to be taken care of, right? People are never going to question it when it comes to their automobile, right? But they'll always question it when it comes to their homes. People don't live in their cars. They live in their homes, and people care more about scheduled service for their cars than for their homes. You need to make them aware of that when you're talking about getting people involved in club memberships. All right? Club memberships should offer a free tune-up every year. That's a service visit for free, okay? They should offer 20% discount on any repairs that are found, okay, today. They should offer a 20% discount on any repairs that happen tomorrow that they may call you for. They should offer a reduced diagnostic fee. We've talked about this in previous webinars. You need to be charging a diagnostic fee. It costs money to send a truck and a fully trained technician to somebody's home. Okay? You should offer a reduced diagnostic fee as an incentive for club members. You should offer a reduced after-hours or emergency diagnostic fee for those people as well. And most important, you should offer today's service. They get service today. Okay? That's the benefits of a club membership. There's a lot of value there. You see, and when you have a club member, then you schedule those club member visits during times when the phone isn't ringing. See, right down here is where you are right now. The phone aren't ringing. The phone's not ringing. The club memberships are not going to help you. But if you have club memberships, you can bring them up to the top, and they can help maintain. They can keep you busy during these periods of slowness. That's what we do with club memberships. So club memberships, like I said, they keep the doors open during slow times, And it's all about finding passive needs when you go to somebody's home. That's the other 50% of the business. And that's why you do the tune-up, right? If you're a plumber, you start at the main shutoff to the house and you finish at the main shutoff to the house. You pull the anode rod out every single time. You check all of those things because you will find stuff that's going to go. The shutoffs underneath the toilet. Yeah, I know they never check them, and I know that when you check them, when you turn them off and turn them on again, they're going to start leaking. Yeah, well, you need to make people aware that that's because these things aren't serviced regularly. Okay? It's all about finding passive needs. And the average club member service invoice that you do when you have the club member tune-up needs to be about $275 for your profitability. And it's so easy to find that because all you got to find is one or two things in a person's home. And remember, you're finding stuff in a person's home that are passive needs that are going to go. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Okay? That keeps you in business and you're not sending people home for the day. That's important. All right? So club memberships as well, there's a pricing model for them. So I'll give you an example. An electrical club membership for a company that, does electricity, $14.95 a month. Okay? So $14.95 a month for one club membership times 12 months is $179.40 a year. So if you did 1,000 service calls, and that's roughly what one tech will do in a year, 1,000 service calls, and he asks to sign people up to become club members, and only 25% of them do it, right? Because you will get people to sign. You just will get them to sign up. You just have to ask, okay? If only 25% sign up, then it's going to be 250 times $179.40 per year. That's $44,850 in added revenue from one truck. Okay, if you got four technicians, you're almost at $250,000 of added revenue just by doing club membership tune-ups. That's just off of an electrical company. I could do this for everybody's business model, and I'll help you figure that out. So now that you know that you could generate $55,000 out of one truck extra by having club memberships, or almost $250,000 out of 4 trucks, can you think of any reason not to sell club memberships in your business? Okay, customers love them. Trust me, customers love them. We had about 4,000, 5,000 club memberships that this company that I worked for a decade, that I trained their team. That's the number of club memberships they had, and it grew every single month because they kept signing people up for club memberships. And guess what? When you get them involved in club memberships, say you get them involved in a plumbing club membership, but your company does heating and air conditioning. Well, you can sign them up for heating and air conditioning one, and now you can triple the revenue that you can generate out of one home, and you're going back to that house 3 times a year. Okay? Trust me, people love service agreements. You just have to offer them, and they'll keep your lights on, and you won't have to send anybody home. Okay? Yeah, but I need the phones to start ringing now. I know, I got that. Okay, we're going to talk about that right now. Some of the things that you can do that are going to help you address that. So here we go. Let's talk about it. First thing is first. Step 1, get all of your service invoices from the last 12 months. All of them, okay? Step 2, review each invoice and look for any recommended repairs that your technician offered to the homeowner, but that they declined, okay? Step 3, have your very best call taker begin calling each one using the following script. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. That's Mary from ABC Electrical. I've just been reviewing your file, and I noticed that we visited your house on February 12th. Our technician, Tom, recommended that you install a GFCI in your second bathroom to bring it up to code. I'm calling to let you know that we can do that for you this week, and we'd like to give you a 20% discount on the service as well as a free gift valued at $180. How does 9 a.m. tomorrow sound? Okay, now you're going, oh my gosh, free gift, oh my gosh, what's all that about? Trust me. This will all make sense in about 2 seconds. The trick here is to make the phone calls, because if you make the phone calls, you will get some people booking that call. Okay? It's just the reality. It's the law of averages. If you don't ask everybody for the business, then you're not going to have any calls. But you can't honestly look at all those invoices where there were recommendations and not do anything about that when the phones aren't ringing. This is going to get your business rolling again to get you out of this rut that you're in, okay? So that's step 3. Step 4, well, that $180 gift is a free one-year club membership. Doesn't cost you anything. Explain to the homeowner that they get priority service, 20% for today's visit, 20% off any future visits, reduced diagnostic fee, as well as that free tune-up and priority service, right? And this costs you nothing. Nothing, right? It doesn't cost you anything to do it. And you're going to get revenue automatically. And now you can go back to their home next year when it's slow. Okay? That's the whole point of it. So when the phones aren't ringing, you need to take direct action. Okay? Some other strategies that you might want to think about. There's the loss leader ad. Literally, loss leaders are excellent ways of getting the phones to start ringing. Offer a free plumbing, electrical, furnace, or AC tune-up, or a roofing inspection, okay? Place the ad in your local weekly newspaper ad insert. Like, good example, some newspapers will still have like a weekend edition and it'll have like a magazine in it. Advertise there, okay? Advertise in the insert that's going to be a special insert that's like the community paper. People read those, okay? And I'm telling you, we did this every single year here. This weekly insert went out to, actually bi-weekly, so it came in Saturdays and it went out Wednesdays. And the phones always rang when we used loss leader strategies, okay? So offer that free inspection, place the ad in that paper, and yes, I said it's going to be free, right? And it should say something like this. Dear homeowners, ABC Contracting is offering free tune-ups on your plumbing system, or just put in whatever your business is, plumbing, heating, electrical, whatever, right? So we'll say in this case it's free tune-ups on your air conditioner. So ABC Heating and Air Conditioning is offering free tune-ups on your air conditioner during the week of June 12th. There are only 50 free tune-ups available, so don't miss your chance to get your system up and running in peak condition just in time for summer. To get your free tune-up, please call ABC Contracting at 555-555-1212. This offer won't last, and we'll likely book these free 50 tune-ups within a matter of hours. So call 555, you get the point, get your spot. Don't miss out, okay? That's it. Loss leader ad, because what's going to happen, the phones are going to ring, but there are some rules. You only book the calls for equipment that is in the replacement zone, right? More than 10 years of age. There's no point in doing a tune-up on a 1-year-old air conditioner, okay? Not going to break down unless it was a bad install. You need to train your call takers to get the age of the equipment up front when those calls come in, because they have to filter the people, right? And they need to inform the homeowners that anything newer than 10 years old, and that they need to inform the homeowner with anything newer than 10 years of age that all 50 spots are taken, but you'll put them on a cancellation list. You're not going out to anything less than 10 years of age, okay? Your technicians need to find about $275 worth of repairs or add-ons minimum during that tune-up. That's how you make your money from it. Your technicians cannot have a $0 invoice on these calls. They can't. They need to sign them up for that club membership. It's a free club membership. Sign them up, because that's going to take them off the market for any future business from other competitors. But more importantly, you now have these people available that you can market to, and that you can go back to their house 12 months from now when the phones aren't ringing, okay? So they got to sign them up. And your call taker needs to call back the homeowner and thank them for the service after each call from the service tech. Okay? Some other things that you should be doing. Use your technicians to set leads. Use your technicians to put out door hanger ads on neighboring houses after each call. Assign a separate code on each one. That way you can track the technician. And any calls that come from door hangers, ask the client to repeat the code over the phone, and then match it up with your tech who put the thing there, and you give them $50 for each one of those calls that comes in. See, techs don't want to put these things out there, but if you monetize it for them and say you'll get $50 if we get a call, they're done. It's going to happen. And you'll make that money back in spades once you get inside somebody's home doing that free inspection. Okay? And here's some examples. You know, here's one for air conditioning. Ultimate tune-up, $69. There's one for electrical. There's one here for roof repairs. There's one here for plumbing, and there's another one here for air conditioning. Or sorry, this one is actually for air conditioning as well. So there's nothing new. I just did these on a cursory, very quick Google image search this morning as I was finalizing this PowerPoint that I'm sharing with you today. So the examples are out there. Get your guys to do it. Put a code on it, and every guy gets a different code, and of course you give them $50 for every call that comes in that you can track to the tech to put it out there. Okay, so that's an important one. It's important to remember as well that marketing is a process, It's not an event. And here's some facts for you. Most contractors don't market properly. Most contractors don't market consistently. Most contractors don't track their leads to find out where these calls are coming from so they can devote their money towards the ones that are working and stop paying out for the ones that don't, right? Most contractors don't use hardly ever any direct mail advertising, and they should. It's cheap. It's cheap and it works. Most contractors don't create calls to action in their advertising. Things like time, we can be there in 59 minutes, right? That stuff matters more to people than the cost of the service. Trust me. All right. There is a very large national franchise in the United States of America that does heating and air conditioning, and it's got a big clock on it. You've seen their trucks. They're yellow, and that's their value proposition, right? No reason you can't do it either. Okay. Most contractors don't budget for advertising costs properly, and most contractors fail to use their technicians as lead generators. Okay. If your phone ain't ringing, it's because you weren't marketing properly. That's it. This is your phone. It's covered with cobwebs. Okay. If your phone ain't ringing, it's because you haven't implemented systems to track leads. If your phone ain't ringing, it's because you aren't rewarding your staff for setting leads. If your phone ain't ringing, it's because you are praying to the gods of weather for good cold or hot weather to make the phones ring. Or it's because you don't have any club members. That's why your phones aren't ringing, and that's why you're in the situation you're in right now. So, Home Service Profits, me, I can help. We've got a lot of ways to help, but I'm in the success business. I'm in the implementation business. Failure to get the phones ringing is not a knowledge problem, it's an implementation problem. And you need systems to implement to make sure this doesn't happen again. You need to be consistent when you do it. And did I mention that you need systems to implement? You have to. You have to. They're out there. That's what Home Service Profits does. That's what I do. Okay? Systems work. Look at the chart to the right, okay? Company B, this is your average company, does 6 calls a day, average ticket of $125, average ticket per day of all of their calls is $750. If they do 6 calls a day, 5 days a week, 30 calls a week, it's $125 per call. That's $37.50. So 120 calls per month at $125 average ticket is $15,000, and then 1,440 calls per year at $125 average ticket per call is $180,000. That's how most people do it because they're of the lowest price mentality. They're not priced right. Company A, though, does 4 calls a day because they're priced right. Their average ticket is $250, so double of what it is for Company B. Their average ticket is $1,000 instead of $750. Their daily take is going to be $250 per call versus $125 per call. And the big number at the end is $240,000 per year off of one guy. Okay? One guy versus $180,000 for the guys who aren't priced properly. Systems work. Company A uses systems and procedures, things that Home Service Profits and other contracting groups will teach. Company B, time and material, trying to get as many calls as they can. Don't be Company B. Be Company A. That's where I can come in and I can help your business. Okay? Look, today only I'm offering a free, no obligation consultation. And if you subscribe to my new monthly home contractor success school, you will get a new training video for your call takers every single month. You're going to get a new training video for your service techs every single month. You're going to get 2-hour phone or Skype consultation with me every single month, custom call booking and lead generation scripts, plus 30% off tuition to any of my core training courses delivered at your shop. I'm going to San Diego in a couple of weeks to spend 3 days with some fabulous people teaching them how to book calls properly. That's what we do here at Home Service Profits. So today only, though, for $329 a month is what it costs. Regular $399.95. That's $10.99 a day to get access to all of that education to help you become a lean, mean, profit-generating machine. Can you afford $10.99 a day, or can you not afford to spend $10 a day, $11 a day for success training? Look, if you call me at 306-261-5195, that's my number, within 30 minutes of watching this and subscribe today, your total investment actually is going to be $299.95 a month. So I'm going to drop it from $399 to $299, $100 off if you sign up for this today. Okay, so that's all I want to talk a little bit about there. my little pitch at the end. If you want this help, this is what I do at Home Service Profits. My job is to help your company grow and be successful. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you got something out of the steps and processes that we talked about that can get you out of this rut and get your issues resolved. And I'm going to stop recording this right now, and I'll stay online here. And anybody has any questions and so forth, we can chat back and forth. Thanks so much for watching. I'm really glad that we had this chance, and I hope this really helped you think about things that you could be doing different to grow your business. Once again, Sean Cummings, homeserviceprofits.ca. And if you want to contact me, it's homeserviceprofits@gmail.com, or you can call me at 306-261-5195. Thanks so much for watching.